Welcome to Light Novel Sound, where we bring incredible light novels to life through immersive audiobooks you can enjoy for free. Today, we're diving into Weapon Seller in the World of Magic, a thrilling fantasy novel written by Snowstar and originally published on lightnovelworld.co. Meet Mark Spencer, a genius military weapon designer who was kidnapped and forced to create advanced weapons for the mafia, until he finally escaped, only to be betrayed and shot by his own comrades. But instead of dying, he wakes up in another world as Lu Zhen, armed with a powerful weapon system that lets him bring modern firepower into a realm ruled by magic. Bows and arrows? Outdated. Flying carpets? Obsolete. Fighting dragons? Why struggle when you can drop a nuclear bomb? Watch as Lu Zhen changes the balance of power in this world, introducing firearms, fighter jets, and war machines no one has ever seen before. If you enjoy this audiobook, please support the original work by reading Weapon Seller in the World of Magic on lightnovelworld.co. And if you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue bringing amazing stories to life. Now, sit back and enjoy the action. Chapter 76, Meng Dao, the host of Chiline's spirit. Bang 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 bang. 21 bullets, 21 shots, and 33 seconds. The four assassins turned into corpses with 4 headshots, ruptured eyes, and holes at their throats. HMF, the young man snorted as he wiped the blood from his face, followed by stealing their storage rings and weapons. After placing everything in his storage ring, he closed his eyes for a moment and opened his eyes. The amber eyes once again turned to brown. He then walked away calmly. Pan Dao, Meng Dao, is an illegitimate heir of the previous leader of the Meng clan, born to a commoner woman. His mother died during childbirth. His father also eventually died of an unknown illness when he was 4 years old. After that, his grandfather, Meng Yijun, took over the position once again and also decided to groom Meng Dao as the next clan head. However, many people were against it, mainly due to his inability to cultivate despite being born with ether particles. Meng Dao started to train from the age of 8 and yet, he had to make a breakthrough to the One Circle realm. The reason for this is the Chiline. For some unknown reason, Meng Dao's body is storing the spirit of this creature from the legends. All the ether he absorbed from the crystals gets consumed by this spirit, instead. In return, he could use some of its abilities. However, he can only keep it secret from everyone. Neither the Chiline nor Meng Dao knows why it happens when the Meng clan itself is a minor noble clan, founded around 300 years ago. Putting aside his powers for a moment, he had this opponent in the form of a cousin who is just as qualified as him for the position of the clan head. So, naturally, assassination attempts were common. His grandfather knew what's going on in the clan. He wasn't strong enough to crush the opposition with his fist either. In the end, he made a deal with the elders that Meng Yuhan will be announced as the next clan head as soon as the latter turns 21. It was only 1 year away. He thought everything would go well, but the insecure Meng Yuhan still sent the assassins after Meng Dao. Unknown to them, Meng Dao was good friends with Lin Xiai, one of the cousins of Lin Shui. After Lin Xiai's parents received a portion of the weapons and bullets from the Lin clan, this 16-year-old girl sent them to Meng Dao. Within a week, he combined the gun shooting with his own techniques to become formidable enough to take out a 3-circle realm and 3 2-circle realm assassins with his own hands. Back to the present, after finishing them off, he was going back in the same direction that he came from. The town center is where the Meng mansion is also located. On his way, he crossed the Bear Inn. When his eyes fell on it, he thought about Mark and Alina, those two. There's something off about those two. Even my eyes couldn't find anything, back when I first saw them. But, then again, Mark's image disappeared, leaving behind only Alina's image in his head. A grin escaped from Meng Dao. That woman looks very pretty. I wonder whether they are a couple. Considering how she walks a step behind the man, all the way, she might be his servant. As soon as he mumbled those words, a tiny beast appeared on his shoulder. It has the head of a sage dragon with long whiskers, but there are antlers on top of its head like a deer, has the body of a horse but was fully scaled. Strangely, it was only visible to him. The chimera-type beast opened its mouth and spoke in a human tongue. Kid, I already told you before. Those two are heaven-defying beings that go against the will of the heavens. And people like them either bring peace to the world or cause great destruction. Unfortunately, most people in the past history only turned bad. You already have enough on your head. Better stay away from unnecessary trouble until I regain enough of my strength. I guess I'll listen to you. Meng Dao continued to walk. Meanwhile, inside of the rooms at the inn, Mark was formulating a plan as the android projected the map of the empire with her eyes. Let's see. I'm now in the town of Daking. After having lunch, let's depart to Huqiu City. Then, tomorrow, we'll go to Tianping City. On day 3, after briefly stopping at Maxong Town, we'll leave for Shangwan City. Shangwan City is the headquarters of Sui Province. The business opportunities will be high. So, let's stay there for a couple of days and see if I can sell the weapons in bulk. Maybe I can use the loophole to earn more money, hee. Anyway, on day 5, I'll leave for Tinghe City. On day 6, after briefly stopping at Luozhuang Town, let's leave for Xinfang City. Xinfang is around 150 kilometers away from Imperial City. I guess we can directly go home on the 7th day without stopping at any town or village. After finishing the plan, Mark took a short nap while Alina sat on the floor and kept an eye on him. At around noon, Mark and Alina checked out of the inn. The innkeeper at the reception desk was grinning to himself as he looked at their backs. The guy looks like he was very hungry. Must have spent quite a stamina during the past few hours. If I have such a heavenly beauty with me, I would have made love for all day. I'm envious. Damn that fellow. Mark and Alina didn't bother to look around and went directly to the nearby restaurant that the innkeeper recommended. The Golden Dragon restaurant is the most popular restaurant in the town of Daking and where the wealthy townsmen and visitors eat there. Not only did Mark and Alina look like an attractive couple, but they also looked well off. So, the guards allowed them inside with respect. As they stepped inside, they saw little customers inside, having their food. Hello. Welcome to Golden Dragon Restaurant. The manager greeted them with a smile. Would you like to eat on the ground level or need a private chamber on the first level? Mark glanced at others who are staring at them, or more likely, at Alina. He doesn't want to bother with those gazes. He replied, private dining is better. The manager's smile became wider upon hearing that. How should I address you? My name is Lu Zhen and she's Alina. Mark replied. Lu? A commoner? And Alina? What kind of name is that? The manager fell into thoughts but he quickly recovered and spoke. Lord Lu, Lady Alina, please follow me. They followed him to a narrow staircase in the corner that leads to the first floor. Upon reaching the end of the staircase, what he saw is a series of rooms of about 10 in number with a curtain at the entrance. Each is as big as 100 square feet, big enough to even take a rest, much less eat in peace. Mark took the very first one, nearby the stairs. The inside was spacious as he thought. After he took the seat, the manager handed him a scroll with the items and their prices written on it. Lord Lu, may I know what you would like to eat? Mark looked at the menu. There were roughly 10 items written. The most expensive is the Imperial roast duck, which costs nearly 5 gold coins. He had eaten once in the Imperial City. It was 16 gold coins there. Maybe, it's because it is a town and the chef skill level will be low, the cost is also less here. Imperial roast duck, Shangwan braised chicken, Wensi tofu, and you know what, forget it. Bring each dish from the list. As Mark gave the order where the total bill amounts to 20 gold coins, Manager Du was on high clouds and hurried downstairs. Half an hour later, 4 beautiful-looking servants came upstairs along with the dishes. But, before they reached the chamber they need to serve in, a voice interrupted from nearby. You came at the perfect time, Manager Du. Send them here and entertain the young master. Lord Duan, we have an esteemed customer. Give me a couple of minutes. Manager Du spoke politely as he gestured the girls to get into the chamber. After all, he had 10 dishes with him. Lord Lu, here are the dishes you ordered. Lord Lu? That's not a noble surname. I wonder who he is. The young man in his late 20s raised his eyebrows as he followed the manager inside. The waitresses were placing the dishes on the table. But his eyes fell on the girl. This girl? Upon seeing Alina, his eyes lit up. Du and Zhong, forget those bitches, this beauty will satisfy the young master. Let's hope this Lord Lu has a lower background. Chapter 77, Mark visits the Meng clan. In one of the private chambers at the Golden Dragon restaurant, 2 men are drinking wine. Meng Dao got lucky, again. A guy is in his late 20s crushed the wine glass in frustration. That geezer must have hired someone to protect the bastard. Cool down, young master. An elder of the Meng clan tried to calm him. This time, we will give the job to Assassin Guild. As long as we pay enough, they will take care of the matter. Do whatever it takes, Elder Lim. I need his death before he reaches 18. Forget about the position, I don't want to give even a tiny bit of inheritance to him, no matter what. Meng Yuhan spoke to him. Or maybe, we can take out Meng Yijun. Once he's gone, the young master can ascend to the position of clan head. Du and Zhong, a friend of Meng Yuhan, advised to kill the current clan head, instead of focusing on trash. Do you know what it takes to assassinate an intermediate stage 5 circle realm expert? The elder reprimanded Du and Zhong upon hearing it. He further explained, even the Assassin Guild will take no less than 5,000 gold coins for the job. And who knows whether Meng Yijun made advancement in his cultivation further or not. I'm sorry. I was careless. As Du and Zhong apologized, the elder spoke, first, we need the young master to calm down so that we handle this matter carefully. Go and bring some women to entertain the young master. Yes. Du and Zhong left the room. However, not even 30 seconds had been passed and both of them heard a scream from outside. Ah! Young master, help me. Him. Meng Yuhan frowned and got on his feet upon hearing the tone of his friend. Both of them stepped outside only to see Du and Zhong was flying from one of the private rooms and crashing onto the wall. His right arm was severed. Followed by that, they saw a beauty step outside the room with the severed arm in her hands and threw it at him. She then turned around to get back to her master. Hey, you! Meng Yuhan roared in anger as he walked towards her at a fast pace. Alina stopped in her tracks and turned her head to look at him coldly. She scanned him in a second. 19,238 ether particles, beginner stage 4 circle realm, fighter path, emotional status, angry. After scanning him, she looked at the elder behind him. 81,455 ether particles, peak stage 4 circle realm, mage path, emotional status, curious. Continuing to scream in pain, Du and Zhong then spoke with great difficulty. Young master, I only asked that woman to serve you for an hour. Look what they did to me. How dare you hurt my friend? Meng Yuhan clenched his fist as he reached her. If it would have been a male, this guy would have attacked already. Maybe, Alina's peerless beauty had an effect on him. I'm following my master's orders, Alina replied coldly and turned around to walk inside. You! Meng Yuhan was about to grab her. Just then, Alina caught his arm without even looking at him and casually swung her arm. Without paying attention to him any longer, she returned to Mark. Thud. He crashed onto the wall, cracking it. Young master, the elder hurriedly rushed towards him. Are you all right? Elder Lim, drag her and that master of hers outside. Meng Yuhan coughed for a while as he gave an order. Meanwhile, the manager exited the room and looked at the three of them. He was stunned on the spot. As for the waitresses, they were too afraid to move from the place without Mark's orders. The elder stepped inside the room to find Alina sitting on the side while a handsome-looking young man was trying the dishes, all alone. The waitresses moved into the corner after spotting the elder of Meng clan. Are you the one that ordered her to injure Du and Zhong? The elder asked him. Mark raised his head and looked at him, being annoyed by the disturbance. Now, who are you? You guys keep disturbing my peaceful lunch. Do you know who your servant had attacked, now? He's the future head of Meng clan. The elder reminded him before his eyes fell on Alina. Unlike the prideful young master, he was more of a calm-headed guy. Instead of revenge, he thought of something that benefits the clan instead. He said, "You can pay it with either your lives or you can hand over that girl. She looks good enough to become our young master's bride." Mark never saw such an unreasonable demand in his life. Then, he remembered that he's currently in an imperial age where the rights of commoners and women are quite low and where the nobles act too arrogant. However, does that matter? Of course, not. Because, the moment he disturbed his peace, the middle-aged man already decided his fate. Mark wasn't angry at his words as they were aimed at Alina, but he was greatly annoyed by the interruption of these strangers when he was minding his business. "Alina, kill him." He gave an order. "Kill." The elder was taken aback by an unexpected reply, but he wasn't afraid. After all, he was a peak stage 4 circle realm expert. But, just as he shifted his eyes towards Alina, who was in a sitting position, his eyes widened as an energy chain with blade pierced his chest almost a fraction of a second after Mark gave the order. As the corpse fell on the floor, Mark stood up on his feet. This guy asked for compensation, didn't he? Then, it would be fair to collect the compensation from this Meng clan for ruining my appetite. Soon, Mark and Alina grabbed the attention of every passerby as the android dragged an unconscious Meng Yuhan by grabbing the collar behind the neck while his sandals were hitting the ground. The restaurant was only 500 meters away from Meng Street, where all the houses of Meng clan members were located. The center of the neighborhood is a mansion, about as big as Song Mansion or Lin Mansion in the Imperial City. The news spread to the whole town very quickly. On the way, the prefect of the town came along with a few soldiers, but all of them were defeated by Alina with ease. They reached the Meng Mansion. Unfortunately, the gatekeepers as well as a couple of elders weren't as lucky as the soldiers. Those who tried to stop his way were mercilessly killed by Alina. After the death of an elder who is in the 5-circle realm, no one dared stop the both of them as they entered the mansion. Meanwhile, a guard notified the clan head about the news. An old man in his late 70s climbed down the stairs and saw Mark sitting calmly on a wooden chair. Alina was standing behind him like a servant while an unconscious Meng Yuhan was near his feet. Meng Yuhan's father and Meng Yizhen's nephew, Meng Jianhong, was standing on the side with other elders with his eyes red in anger. But, no one dared to step forward at the moment. "Who are you?" Meng Yizhen frowned as he glanced at his unconscious grandnephew and the future clan head. "Who I am, doesn't matter. Why I am here, matters." Mark replied coldly. "I'm the type to pluck the entire tree with its roots if it just comes in my path, and your so-called clan heir disturbed my peace and coveted my servant. She's like a little sister to me. What should I do with him? You tell me." As Meng Yizhen glanced at Alina, he thought Mark's words make more sense. Who wouldn't covet such beauty? He wondered whether this future clan head might have crossed the bottom line. Taking a deep breath, he cupped his fists. "I apologize in his place if he offended you. We too have suffered a loss in return. So, how about we make this even and forget this incident? We'll provide enough compensation too." In a normal situation, he would have beat up the person to death, but after knowing the casualties, he took Mark seriously and felt that he should handle it carefully. 10,000 gold coins. Mark gave a shocking reply to his polite request. "I'm willing to forget it if you provide me the compensation." 10,000? Everyone around gasped in shock. Chapter 78, Extorting Money from the Meng Clan. 10,000 gold coins? Are you out of your mind? Meng Jianhong, who was standing on the sidelines, shouted at him. Such an amount might be nothing to people like Lin Shui or Song Yu, but for a minor noble clan like the Meng clan, it is indeed a high amount. After all, they are based on a tiny town of Daking where an average commoner possessed a wealth of below 50 gold coins. So, it's natural that Meng Jianhong erupted in anger. despite the fact that his son's life is at stake. Meanwhile, the clan head Meng Yijun deeply frowned. Are you serious? Mark leaned to the back and crossed his legs with his right ankle on his left knee, letting out a smirk. I guess this guy lying over here isn't worth that much. I'll change my words, then. Consider it as the compensation for sparing the Meng clan. How about now? You. Meng Yijun was taken aback by his words. He clenched his fist, trying to control his rage. You dared to threaten us? Meng Jianhong might have hated the clan head and his grandson, but he considers it as the internal matter of the clan. His loyalty to the clan is very well known. This is the reason behind his earlier outburst. Of course, he also wanted to save his son, and so, he tried to bluff. Clan head, give us the order. Forget about Yu Han. We will let this guy walk away. Snap. Mark snapped his fingers in response. As if Alina understood his thoughts, she raised her hand, activating the skill, Twilight Shackles. The familiar energy chain with a blade as an edge was manifested in his hands before it pierced Meng Jianhong in the abdomen. Ooh! His eyes widened by the sudden ambush. As she swung her arm, his entire body was raised in the air before crashing onto the floor, right beside his son. You are so annoying. I'm talking to the head of your clan. So, you shut your mouth. Mark said to him before he shifted his eyes towards the old man. This is just a warning. Don't annoy me further. I'm waiting for your choice. Pay the compensation or face the annihilation. This was the first time Mark was dealing with the matter this way. In fact, there's no reason for him to make a big deal out of this, but because of the Meng clan's notorious reputation within the town, he decided to teach them a lesson that they won't forget. The chain disappeared soon while the middle-aged man fell unconscious. Meng Yijun glanced at the father and son duo on the floor and then, at the clan elders, then, at Alina, and finally, stared at Mark while thinking deeply about the matter. Fine, I'll make the arrangement. Clan head. An elder responded with a roar. How long will you let this guy act preposterous? Don't you care about our clan's pride? He didn't stop there. He looked at his fellow elders and spoke. Why are you silent? We don't need to fear that woman. You can see Elder Jiang Hong was only wounded a little. He was right. If we fight together, then, we can take them down. As soon as his words ended, a few elders chipped in. They were all loyal to Meng Yuhan. So, they support each other. Yes. Yes, clan head. If you fear him and give him the money, then, tomorrow, someone else will come and threaten our clan. You will give, then too. The funds belong to the clan. You cannot give it to every random stranger that dared to humiliate our clan. Ever thought how we would show our faces to the public? The three elders who are at peak 4 Circle Realm, beginner 5 Circle Realm, and beginner 5 Circle Realm respectively openly showed their dissatisfaction towards the clan head's cowardly decision. In the group of 12 people standing on the sidelines, there were many 4 Circle and a few 5 Circle Realm experts. Upon realizing that the girl isn't that strong, to begin with, they grew confident. And when Mark heard them, he felt the urge to laugh. He commented in response while shaking his head, I wonder why a majority of the nobles don't use any brain, at all. Well, never matter. I'll cure their stupidity by showing them the reality. Alina, kill them. He passed an order. Maybe, it's due to her high strength, Mark really felt secure around her. Of course, this doesn't change the fact that he is on the edge in his heart, fearing a possible ambush as he was surrounded by higher realm spirit warriors. The holographic screen continued to float before him and he was ready to summon the battle tank at any moment. Upon receiving the order, Alina summoned dark energy daggers. Meng Yijun's heart skipped a beat. Just as she was about to make her move, he screamed, Wait. We have already come to an agreement. There's no need for this. Perhaps, this is a difference between Alan and Alina. If it is the former, the three elders would have been attacked already, but Alina didn't do it and just looked at her master as if she wanted to confirm whether she needed to proceed or back off. Mark motioned his hand. She dismissed the daggers and stood straight once again. "You have 10 minutes, Mark said to the clan head. Meng Yi-jun nodded and then ordered one of the elders in a stern manner. "Don't cause trouble. Elder Zon, go and get Elder Shun here, right away." Meng Shun was the treasurer of the clan and managed the funds. He is also the richest person in the town of Daking, mainly attributed to corruption. Naturally, he was neutral and stays away from clan politics. The elder who instigated others earlier was the one ordered to get the treasurer. He left with his face turned red. Mark was handed the pouch full of 10,000 gold coins within 10 minutes as he ordered. Casually throwing the pouch to Alina, he stood up and started to walk away. The android followed from behind. Once they were out of the mansion, a grin appeared on Mark's face as he took back the pouch from the android. "Never expected extorting is this easy. Until 10 minutes ago, I roughly had 2,900 gold coins, but now, my net worth increased to 12,900 gold coins. Maybe, I should extend my trip to a few more days and visit towns." These minor noble clans didn't have much strength. So, they are a perfect target. The only thing I need to keep in mind is to make sure that they are on the wrong side and I was only returning the favor. Perhaps, the only issue here is that the money earned this way wouldn't help me in completing my missions. Meanwhile, at Meng Mansion, the elders whose complaints were shut down by the clan heads were seen protesting against the clan head. After all, they were humiliated in their own place. Why wouldn't they be furious? In response, Meng Yi-jun roared back, "That guy was right. All of you are indeed stupid. Even after watching Elder Rong's death, you wanted to go ahead and meet your demise? Money can be earned again but lives cannot. Moreover, have any of you ever thought how we'd be able to rule the town once our strength is reduced? But, that man trampled on our pride." An elder argued back. Meng Yi-jun replied, "We won't let this matter go, either. By extorting us, he also offended the Sui clan. They will take care of him. And also, take Yuhan away. He's supposed to be the clan leader who will protect our clan, not bring disasters upon us. What if he had offended an Exalt realm or a legendary realm expert? By now, Meng clan would have been wiped off. After he wakes up, tell him that his house arrested for 4 weeks. The old man also took an opportunity to punish Meng Yuhan as he knew the latter always tries to cause trouble to his grandson. Unfortunately, he still doesn't know about the assassination attempt, or else, he wouldn't have saved his grandnephew. While the clan head is reprimanding the elders for almost pushing their clan to death because of their pride, from the second floor, there was a young man who was secretly watching it through the window. It is Meng Dao and he had a deep frown on his face. "You are right, Chilin. I did a good thing to stay away from that couple," he mumbled to himself. Chapter 79, Mark's Trap for Qian Clan. "Sorry, but we aren't interested." A store owner bowed and politely rejected Mark. Mark let out a sigh and returned the pistol, revolver, and the 2 semi-automatic guns to his inventory before leaving the store in disappointment. As he stepped outside, a horse carriage stopped before him. Alina was having reins of the horse and is sitting there as a coachwoman. Naturally, the attraction of the passers-by to her is evident, but Mark doesn't wish to cover her beauty because he wanted to use it as bait to invite the trouble so that he can get grounds for justice. Alina jumped down and opened the door of the carriage. "Big brother, you look tired. Do you want to take a rest?" "Yeah, I guess." Mark nodded and let out another deep sigh. "Let's call it a day." Right now, Mark and Alina were staying in the city of Tianping, located about 172 kilometers away from the town of Daking and 95 kilometers away from Huqiu City. After finishing his business with the Meng clan, Mark didn't stay in the town any longer and started his journey towards the nearby city, ignoring the villages on the way. He then reached Huqiu City by the tank and walked from the outskirts. It's not that he wanted to stay away from the trouble, but as the streets were quite narrow for the tank to move freely, he opted for walking. To make sure this doesn't happen again, Mark bought a horse carriage for 150 gold coins and used it to roam in the city. If it was before, he wouldn't have gotten so much courage to do that, but after extorting 10,000 gold coins from Meng clan, he felt rich and thought that he need to behave like one too. Not only did he buy the carriage, but he also went on a shopping spree for the rest of the evening to buy a few luxurious clothes for him, Alan, and Alina, spending another 200 gold coins just like that. The next day, he spent it searching for the store to sell his weapons in bulk. After visiting like 60 stores, except for those big three, Everlasting, Lunaris, and Hollow, only one store agreed to buy, and that too, only a mere 20 single-shot pistols and 100 bullets. When he thought of this plan, Mark decided to charge 10% extra to the buyer as commission after the transaction is over, but now, he didn't even make a copper coin of profit by giving 100 bullets for free to the store owner for buying those 20 single-shot pistols. Nevertheless, his share is no longer important as he had a huge wealth now. Overall, his trip to Huqiu City didn't make him happy. Not only he didn't get to sell many weapons, but the city wasn't ruled by some noble clan. A member of the Sui clan is the administrator of the city. He heard this administrator was a good ruler and didn't have any kids too. So, Mark didn't have any excuse to start a fight with him. Even if he had, the administrator was just a single man. He might not afford so much money. On the third day, he set out to Tianping City, located at the foot of Mount Hua. To Mark's bad luck, the city was ruled by the Mount Hua sect, which is located on the top of the peak. And Mark cannot go against the sect as it has a 7-circle realm expert as the sect leader. Excluding him, several 6-circle and 5-circle realm experts were staying on the peak. Moreover, sects usually don't have money as it wasn't useful. They only have ether crystals. In the end, he pushed away his grand plan of extorting the money and went on to visit the stores for his business. At least, there was someone in Huqiu City that accepted his deal, but here at Tianping, none of the store owners came forward as they were feared of making business with unknown weapons, and some of them even advised Mark to go and try his luck at the Imperial City or the headquarters of the province. So, instead of trying his luck, Mark decided to change his plan. He went to the Information Guild, which basically sells the details that aren't considered secret and are usually available to the public. It's like a helpline center. The information ranges from the details of the city to even the monsters at the Blood Hill Forest. Mark paid 5 gold coins and received the details of all the major and minor noble clans in the empire. Along with that, he also received the locations of the dungeons that are still open to the public. Back to the present, Mark returned to the inn and took a rest for the night. The next day morning, he opened the scroll and looked at the details obtained from the guild. "Alina, project the map," he said to the android. As a holographic screen was projected through her eyes, Mark took a closer look and decided on his targets. "Alina, we'll leave for Maxong town as we decided earlier. But, after that, we'll take a detour to Shangwan City via the towns of Yijiashan and Kaigang." "I understand, big brother," Alina nodded. Soon, they left the inn and left the city, traveling towards the town of Maxong, which is only 30 kilometers away from Tianping. At first, they didn't find anything amiss, but as they entered the town and proceeded towards the most popular inn, Alina informed Mark through the small window behind her. "Big brother, 2 people are following us. Both are at the 5-circle realm and were spotted at Huqiu City as well as Tianping City. Such coincidence is unlikely. Do you want me to capture them? Or do you want to lose them?" "Spies, eh? Who could it be? Is it Sui clan? Meng clan is close to them. So, it might be them. If that's the case, then what might be their motive? Assassination? Or just spying?" Mark fell into thoughts for a while before he waved his hands. "No need. Let them follow. We'll wait until it's time. For now, go to Chen Mansion." "I understand." Alina closed the window and continued to ride the carriage. Instead of wasting time investigating about Chen clan's young master, Mark went to the Chen clan mansion directly to meet him directly. Of course, to get things faster, Mark bribed 5 gold coins to the gatekeeper, who took the both of them to the steward of the mansion. He further bribed the steward about 20 gold coins and successfully arranged a meeting with Chen Waihui at a restaurant. At around noon, Mark and Alina were waiting at an empty restaurant. Mark didn't even hesitate to pay 100 gold coins to book an entire restaurant for a couple of hours. Despite that, he wore modest clothes, made out of linen so that it won't give an impression that he was too wealthy. After all, he knew that nobles only grow arrogant when they were dealing with people that have less status and power. This is what he was aiming for. As the appointed time passed by, Mark started to grow impatient but kept calming down himself to wait for the young master of Chen clan. He took out the pocket watch and looked at the time. Damn it. It's already 12:40. When will these guys arrive? A teenager around 15 years old and two middle-aged men entered the restaurant, of which the right one is familiar. He is the steward of the mansion that arranged this meeting. One look at the person on left, Mark realized that he was the supposed young master, considering his Guanfu-styled clothing is made of silk. There's also a pure gold ornament on his head, which supports the hair. However, what surprised him is the person in the middle, who too looked rich. Just as he assumed, both of them were stunned for a second when they saw Alina sitting beside him. As they continued to walk towards the table, Mark stood up on his feet and cupped his fists. Greetings, Lord Chen. Thank you for coming. Instead of the person on the left, the middle one nodded in response and took the seat. The steward introduced them. He is our clan elder Chen Shuigang, our clan head's brother, and this is young master Chen Waihui, the one you wanted to meet. Upon realizing their identities, Mark felt that he hit a jackpot and proceeded to introduce himself. My name is Lu Zhen and this is my servant. I'm a merchant from Imperial City, dealing in weapons known as firearms. Firearms? The three of them took a look at each other before Chen Waihui asked, I never heard of such a thing. What are they? Mark took out the single-shot pistol, revolver, semi-automatic guns, and bullet from his inventory and let Alina explain the details. I see. Chen Waihui was nodding every few seconds as if he was listening carefully. The middle person, on the other hand, was just staring at the android as if he came for her. Meanwhile, Mark activated the ability of his ring and started to absorb the luck from Chen Shuigang as he realized this guy might be the one that makes decisions. 60 seconds later. Ding! 2 points of luck have been absorbed. Mark inwardly smiled as his luck points temporarily raised to 5 and Chen Shuigang's luck points were reduced to 1. That means this young master was bound to take a bad decision and end up unlucky. Once the demonstration is over, Mark spoke. This is a never-seen weapon that was basically known in the Imperial City. It is popular among the masses rather than spirit warriors. I wonder if Chen clan is interested to make a profit. How much of the share are you expecting in return? Chen Waihui looked at his uncle as he was clueless. It was then Chen Shuigang spoke, pointing his finger at Alina. You said she's your servant, right? Chapter 80, 33,000 gold coins of net worth. Inside the Chen mansion compound, in the midst of dozen corpses spread around, Mark was standing in silence with a shotgun aiming right at the forehead of an unconscious teenager. On the other hand, Alina's energy chain is seen pierced into a middle-aged man's chest as the latter was pinned to the ground. Meanwhile, there was another middle-aged man in his 50s and has a striking resemblance to both of the hostages is kneeling before Mark. So, what now? Will you continue to be stubborn or will you heed my demand? The unconscious teenager was Chen clan's young master, Chen Yahue. The one that was pinned to the ground was Chen Shuigang, an elder of the clan and also the younger brother of the clan head. As for the one that is kneeling, he is the clan head. It went exactly as Mark envisioned. The only change is that instead of the supposed young master, it was the elder that displayed his lust on his face when he asked Alina to be handed over to him instead of the share. What happens next is obvious. Mark insults the Chen clan at their faces, telling them that they don't know how to treat ladies. And in response, Chen Shuigang, whose luck points were reduced to 1, displays his arrogance and grabs Alina's hand without her or Mark's permission to use force. As a result, the steward gets killed, Mark takes the hostage of the remaining two after Alina defeats Chen Shuigang, and then, they parade the two of them on the streets exactly how it went at the town of Daking with Meng family. All the soldiers and their superior, who was overseeing the town, ended up unconscious on the streets with wounds on their legs and hands. But, this clan head was a little bit stubborn than the Meng clan's head and refused to pay the compensation. So, Mark had to kill a few of them before making him realize the reality. Another thing Mark did is to display the prowess of his shotgun. He personally wounded several soldiers and killed a couple of Qian clan guards with his shotgun. As the clan head of Qian handed a pouch full of gold coins, Mark dismissed the gun and said, "If only you educate your foolish brother, if only you had control over your arrogance, you wouldn't have seen this day. Alina, let's go." Mark turned around. Alina retracted the energy chain and followed him. Looking at his back, the clan head, Chen, he clenched his fist and gritted his teeth, "You will pay this with your life." Alina and Mark walked to the restaurant where their carriage is parked. As Alina opened the door, Mark told her to get to the next destination. There were two men in their 40s watching both of them from the corner of a street. Their facial expressions don't seem good. This man is behaving like a bandit, looting the nobles, and that too, in broad daylight. "What should we do?" One of them asked another, to which the latter replied, "I don't think we are strong enough to apprehend them, especially the girl. Let's continue to observe." The former spy nodded in agreement and both of them continued to follow in secret, not knowing that they were already busted, but Mark wasn't taking action, that's all. By the following day, Alina and Mark visited two more towns that are ruled by two minor noble clans. From Lei clan, Mark extorted another 10,000 gold coins, but from the Wang clan, he managed to bag a good deal. After making a deal in the morning, he went into work mode and started creating continuously and successfully delivered 100 single-shot pistols, 50 revolvers, 20 P365 10-round semi-automatic guns, and 2,000 bullets by the evening dinner. Since the Wang clan is now a customer of the store, he spared them from his extortion plan. Because of this successful transaction of 2,000 gold coins in one go, the system closed a loophole and warned him that he cannot sell the weapons outside of the store as it makes opening a weapons store useless. Moreover, the system also believed that this method also reduces his stature. The system wanted Mark to be in the dominant position where the people come to him and buy the weapons or make a request in advance. Mark cannot argue with the system's logic as he currently depended on it. Maybe, he'll do what he wants once he opens the weapons factory and make the firearms without its help, but for now, he should put up with it and follow its orders. Anyway, along with the 20% share earned from the weapons sold by Alan at the Genesis store in these past 3 days, Mark's overall net worth had crossed 33,000 gold coins, making him as wealthy as other rich merchants. As the horse carriage entered the city of Shangwan, the headquarters of Sui province, meanwhile, Mark was staring at the inventory and let out a sigh of relief, just a mere few weeks. My life had completely turned around from a miserable person. I guess Song Yu is really my golden goose. If not for her visit, perhaps, I would have still sitting in the store and wonder when I will start earning big. When he remembered their recent meeting, Mark mumbled to himself, I wonder what might have happened for her to be sad. It shouldn't be because of me, right? If I remember it right, Lin Shui once said that Song Yun went into a coma. Who knows? Mark checked into an inn as it was late in the evening. Sitting on the bed, he fell into thoughts on what to do from now on. His plan of selling the weapon stores has been cut off. Should I poke Sui clan, too? A thought appeared in his head. Just like how he extorted the other minor clans, can he extort a major clan like Sui? However, in the next second, he threw the thought away. No, the Sui clan won't be in the same level as those clans. Moreover, this isn't an imperial city where the clan members were spread around. This is their home turf and there won't be 1 or 2 six-circle experts. I might have to go all out to tackle them. The battle tank only has 1/3 of durability left. If I waste it here, then, I would have to spend over 500 ether crystals to repair it. It's not worth it. Maybe, I should demand an exorbitant price? Nah, let's not risk it for now. I might as well take this opportunity to learn how to pilot the helicopter. Not to mention, I need to earn credits too. Mark sighed as he opened the lottery wheel. There was no timer, but he can't turn the wheel as he lacked the credits. He felt like he did a useless thing to buy those intelligence pills and a strength potion, wasting 1,600 credits. Now, not only he was only left with 280 credits, but there were no graded weapons left in the inventory where he can exchange them with the credits. Through the daily quests, he can earn a maximum of 40 credits, of which 10 credits can be earned by killing the one-circle wild beasts, which isn't possible. So, he can earn 30 credits as long as he can create 1,000 bullets within a day. As for the other two quests, summoning a beast for 60 minutes and selling 10 firearms aren't a big deal. The next day morning, Mark sat in the horse carriage and Alina set out towards the wilderness, instead of the city because of the change in the plans. Between Shangwan and Imperial City, there were no towns that were managed by minor noble clans. So, he could only use the time wise. Come out, Chirpy. Mark summoned the little sparrow. Chirp. It chirped happily as it took a seat on his shoulder. Meanwhile, he started to create 9mm bullets. Nearly 2 hours later. Ding! You created a 9mm bullet successfully. Ding! 1,000 ammunition have been created successfully. Ding! You completed the daily quest 3. 10 credits have been added to the account. Finally, 300 credits have been collected. Heaving a sigh of relief, Mark proceeded to open the lottery wheel. But then, as he saw how vacant the wheel looked with 17 empty spaces out of 21, something important clicked in his mind. Oh fuck, I forgot that I only have 3 luck points. I will be bound to fail if I try it. By now, I must be far away from the city and it is unlikely that I will encounter a person. Should I bet on 30% luck? It's as if the heavens listened to him. The horse carriage stopped suddenly with the horse let out a neigh. The tiny window was opened on the front and Mark heard Alina's voice. Big brother, 6 strangers are suspected to be following us in secret. Suspicion status rose to 80%. There are 2 groups. A group of 2 and a group of 4. There's one 6-circle realm spirit warrior in the midst of them. Hair. Mark's facial expression changed to that of a deep frown.